Hello everyone, how's it going? So I have been feeling really nostalgic lately, and for those of you who don't know, I was a journalism major in college. I majored in journalism, and for school I had to do a lot of blogging for my classes that was pretty much mandatory, but I got to do whatever I wanted with it. And so I'd sometimes make videos, but for fun, I did podcasts as well with some of my friends. My senior year, particularly in 2016, that one semester, spring semester, Crystal, my ENFP friend from Synchronic Saturdays, we hosted this podcast called Theme of the Week, where the goal was to bring up a theme, some sort of idea, and then talk with a friend of ours about that theme. We would kind of dance around the topic. It was more just like a discussing things, like interaction podcast. But I was feeling nostalgic and I was listening to all of them. And I thought that I might want to sort of re-release them on this channel under the purpose of looking at type interactions. Because I have a lot of interviews of people with different types. And it might be fun for you guys to analyze it. So this first one that I'm going to share with you on this video is one with my ENFJ friend Jacob, along with my, you guys know Crystal, my ENFP friend Crystal. And the topic of this podcast is breaking free from breaking free from chains. Maybe you guys will find it interesting to sort of look at how I acted, or how I carried myself in 2016. So you guys know I was very depressed during this phase of life. I also noticing, looking back, listening to this, that I seem to interrupt people a lot more, because I sort of assumed that if they really wanted to say that they would just interrupt me back. That was a huge thing for me for a while, because I grew up in a very loud Italian family, and I grew up with all EFJs, and so we would always talk over each other and compete for attention all the time. So it's a little cringy listening to myself. And another thing that's kind of cringy about this podcast is that towards the end, I do get a little bit political, but keep in mind, this is February 2016. We're talking about the infamous GOP primaries of everyone running, and so throwback to that time in our lives if you're American listening to this. But something else you guys might find interesting to keep in mind while listening to this is that my friend Jacob, I believe his Enneagram is a 3-wing 4. I am a 2-wing 3 in the Enneagram. So the way we act is a little bit different in that way. He now is pursuing comedy. He's a very funny guy, and the way we carry ourselves is a little bit different, but you can see in listening to the podcast that we still are both ENFJs. You can see the way that we even approach the concept of breaking free from chains. Crystal is approaching it from this very NE view of feeling either completely free or completely stuck. This is the sort of thing I notice with NE and SI, is that you look at all the possibilities, but then it's also easy to get stuck in one SI possibility when ENFPs are either in a grip or looping or whatever. I don't know, but you can sort of hear how Crystal, as an ENFP, approaches the whole idea of what does it even mean to break free from a chain. But then you also see how Jacob and I talking about it, we're sort of like, oh, just believe in yourself and do something and take action and it'll be fine. And we approach it from a completely different level, but us as ENFJs, what we talk about in the podcast is sort of how we will beat down on ourselves if we set a goal and then it doesn't happen. We feel like we're in more control than we actually are. So anyway, without further ado, I'm going to play the rest of this podcast. Hopefully you all find it interesting, if nothing but just an interaction. I know that a lot of you guys do like to listen to this while you are doing something else and just have it on in the background. So if that works for you, let me know. Sit back and listen. Also comment, let me know, how are you listening to this? Because I am thinking about redoing this podcast or getting it back on iTunes or something. If it's inconvenient for you guys to listen to these long things on just YouTube, let me know and I will try and change it. Thank you guys for watching, and here is the podcast.
Hey, thanks for tuning in to Theme of the Week. This week we have Jacob with us. Yay!
Hey, hey.
Do you want to introduce yourself? Let the viewers know.
What should I say? My name is Jacob Smith.
How old are you?
I'm 20 years old.
Uh-huh.
He's underage, everyone.
Where are you from?
I'm from the Carbondale, Illinois area, which is entirely irrelevant. No one knows
Carbon
where that
dioxide
is.
area?
Yeah, exactly. Home of the Salukis. Go Dogs.
Woo!
What's your major?
I'm an English major.
I try really hard to interview you, get the people going,
I'm sure I'm gonna change my major again though, just because I started off as journalism, then I went poli-sci, now I'm English, and now I'm should I do theater?
You can do it all.
So you're
We'll
interested
see.
in things like poli-sci and English
I was.
and journalism and theater?
You were until Trump became the nominee.
Yeah, that's exactly.
And then everything changed.
I just was interested in it, but then once I got in the classes, I was like, can I see myself doing this for the rest of my life?
Yeah,
and I was no.
I almost was gonna be poli-sci minor or something, and then one of my friends that was in poli-sci was like, "Okay, be careful with those gummy bears. Put them over there."
Crystal's eating gummy bears.
I'm actually listening with headphones today, and that was a really obnoxious sound.
I'm chewing now. Can you hear that?
Yeah. I actually can hear.
Keep
Let's
talking.
be quiet. Let's be quiet for a second. I want to hear your chews.
I'm always eating on the podcast, Jacob. I don't know if you...
I know. I've listened in.
Oh, no. There was McFlurries last week. Now it's gummy bears. And I'm also...
Wasn't there a cinnamon roll?
Yeah, there's a cinnamon roll.
Yes. See, I'm a fan.
You are a fan.
Theme of the week, food of the week. I actually cater this specifically to the
I
guests
think there
that's coming.
should be. Yeah. Am I a
you
gummy bear?
You're a
kind of
gummy
guy?
bear person. Megan was McFlurry. Courtney
Thank
was
you.
cinnamon roll.
Wait, is this basically spirit animals, spirit candies?
No, spirit food. Because next week I'll take on something
food?
salty.
What am I?
I don't know.
What's my
Wait, who are
spirit
you? Who's the interviewee next week? That's apparently salty.
I don't know, actually.
Oh my god, yes! It should be someone I hate. And then I'll be licking the salt off a Dorito and be like, you're
Then
salty.
just the entire time, the thumbnail's just a picture of you glaring at them.
Do you know what my sister said to me today? She's like, "Oh, your podcast sounds like a fun idea, but I get overwhelmed listening to you and Crystal talk, so I can't imagine listening for a whole hour."
Well, she can listen to part.
How kind.
She can listen to me eat for part of it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of an inaccurate statement because I'm not talking the whole time.
And then I was like, I feel bad that I didn't listen to my dad's podcast and he had one.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's like, no, that's how it works. Dad watches your podcast or listens to your podcast, and then Grandpa listens to his podcast. But that's your only viewer. And I was like, no, Jacob listens. Jacob has listened.
That's true.
The one person.
Suggestion? I think the podcast
suggestion.
each week needs to be sponsored by whatever you're eating.
Yeah. Wait, but do you have to have actual money from Haribo?
I don't know.
Is that what it's called?
Maybe we should just
Haribo.
keep it generic and then be okay, I'm eating gummy bears. If any gummy bear makers want to sponsor us, we'll mention you. We'll at you next time.
Yes.
We'll tweet, yeah.
So just thoughts.
Yeah, no, I love it.
Wait, I should tweet at Chipotle and bring Chipotle sometime.
I have Chipotle right here, but I'm not eating it.
Okay,
Yeah.
literally every single time I ever see you,
No.
no matter what, you always have Chipotle. I could be anywhere and I'll bump into you and you'll have Chipotle. I'll be walking through a graveyard at 3 in the morning and I'll just see you with a flashlight eating Chipotle.
That's where I go and connect with my ghost friends. The ghost of Chipotle's past.
Yeah.
But I will say, I don't know if you've noticed this. Okay. Chipotle is sponsored. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I did. Okay.
Money.
Wait, I have a couple things to say. If you guys know what Twitter lists are, apparently I'm on a Twitter list that is Chipotle's official Chipotle fans. I've tweeted at them enough times that they're on their list.
I believe that.
But okay, I will just say that their food, the month of February, has kind of sucked.
Really?
Because
Well, that's because I don't work there anymore.
Oh yeah.
Wait, you once worked there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The funny thing is that most of the time you saw me with Chipotle probably was not at Chipotle.
No, never. Not once.
No, but okay.
What if she just had a bag there, like from in her house? She takes around with her everywhere. It's not
This is just her book bag.
Yeah, this is actually where I keep my things.
She just wants to look trendy.
You didn't know there was Chipotle in there every single time.
It's my purse. I have my wallet.
It's Gucci. It's Laura Esquivel.
It's Las Palabras tienen vida. Yeah, whatever. But anyways, their food sucked because they've been just like trying to like give it out as fast as they can to all like the free like coupon people. Now the coupons are over. I went there today and it was awesome.
Because it's March.
Yeah, because it's March.
Yeah, that's your March Madness.
Throwback to Courtney if she's listening. It's no longer Feb.
It's no longer Feb.
And now it's Fab.
Jacob gets it.
Feb,
Yeah.
Now it's Fab.
February was a Feb month.
Yeah, so okay, the theme this week, Crystal, I'm going to have you explain it because I actually did not come up with this idea.
She did not come up with this idea.
Because I don't really think of things like this, but it's like breaking free from chains, and I don't really think of it like that. But tell us.
First, I was going to start with a brief musical break with me singing Breaking Free from the High School Musical.
So 1, 2,
but no, I will spare...
Chains by Nick Jonas.
Oh, that's a terrible song.
I know.
I will spare everyone the pain of listening to me sing because I already had subjected them to me eating, so... But... We're breaking free or something. Basically, I guess like the idea of breaking free for me specifically is I feel like people get wrapped up in thinking that things are like a certain way, or they get wrapped up in thinking like things have to be a certain way. So I think that whenever you're like a person's perception is like very static, like they're not thinking outside the box or thinking of the big picture, or maybe thinking of like the small things in life, like taking pleasure and appreciating like those things. Yeah. Whenever people are like basically in the middle, like whenever they aren't thinking big or thinking small, they run the risk of being chained, basically. So
in their perception, because you're never truly chained in real life. Which is why I did not think of this concept myself, because I've never really chained? Like, I guess like I'm such like a action-oriented person that I don't really even notice. Like, I'll like think, oh, like life sucks right now, and like try and like keep going, but like I don't know, like I realize that everyone has like some sort of perception that they think that they're just like stuck in.
Yeah, like I mean it can be a positive perception but also a negative perception. Either way, if you're staying in that perception, you're gonna set yourself up for screwed overness, failure. Basically, it's like, okay, if you think, oh, like, I am so great, like, no matter what I do, I can't fuck up my life, then you're training yourself to, like, the perception that, oh, like, I'm so great, but then you might run the risk of, say, not taking action and being lazy and, like, fucking things up. Or you could be like, like, I am so, like, not gonna succeed or blah, 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 and, like, then you, in fact, enable that. It's not even, like, look at, like, your self-worth or whatever, like, self-esteem or whatever. It could just literally be like an idea of, oh, my life is gonna go like this, and this is how it's gonna be, and like basically like it's like staying only on like one type of thought, one type of idea, like or like
I kid you not, in my Britlit class this week, we were reading a poem, and one of the lines was mind-forged manacles. So that's like the same thing.
Manacles.
I know. So
I even have a cuff on.
So when Megan told me this was the theme, I was like,
do you have any like British literature that you can bring up in conversation that connect with the topic?
Or like describe the poem as far as you remember.
Would you like to recite the poem?
I like don't do any of my homework. I just remember like the professor literally only wrote that line on the board. So it's like, that's an interesting thing. I should have read that poem, and then of course I didn't. But yeah, that's all I remember.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, I feel you.
Okay, it's like my professor, hey Jed, if you're listening. Once said, I don't think he is, but maybe Amy will tell him to listen. I don't know. But either way, he like once said like, oh, like get up in the morning, stub your toe, be like, it's gonna be one of those days, and then what do you know? It turns out to actually be one of those days. Like traffic's bad, your coffee spills, like your students are annoying, blah blah blah. Like, but if you wake up, you stub your toe, you're like,
he had me as a student, so
it's like you wake up, stub your toe. nah, it's gonna be fine, then like if you're not scared of it not being fine, then you end up being okay. It's like kind of like weirdly tied to the like the law of attraction. The opposite of that is like chains, where like, oh, like I can't.
Yeah, like you can either believe that you can get yourself out of anything, or you can just like kind of lay back and like let whatever seems to be true just kind of take a hold.
Yeah, basically chains could be like an extreme version of like laziness of the mind, mindful laziness, basically mindful passivity.
I think it manifests a lot in people not seeking more information. Just taking things as
like passiveness.
Yeah.
Yes, like not actively contemplating like your fit and like why. It's like that's like a one way to like unchain yourself. It's like you can like seek help for maybe feeling chained to a certain perception and such, but seeking more information either by asking yourself or like asking the life,
why is it this way?
Masses.
Like, why do I feel
this way? So what are your
way?
initial thoughts, Jacob? Do you feel like you are chained?
Am I chained at this moment? No. I really like, mainly because like I found myself in this situation where like I was chained, but I have always like been this person to like tell like my friends like, oh, like if you're not happy, like, you know, do something about that. Like if you like have this dream that you don't think is realistic, like it can be realistic, but it never will be if you don't pursue that. But then like I found myself not applying that to my own life, and then I was like, how stupid
like
is
giving
it?
people advice, but
then like not taking it myself. So then
I think it's one thing to know that something's true and another to like actually do it.
Yeah, because like it's scary because like society tells us like things should be a certain way whenever like we kind of had this conversation at Pancheros.
Yeah. Sorry, Chipotle, I know.
Yeah, we cheated on you.
We totally cheated, yeah.
Goes outside comfort zone.
I don't know. I think that talking about jobs is probably like a thing that
especially
really
for
affects,
like our generation, like college students, that's like looming so near.
Yeah, but you know what, you can be a theater poli-sci journalism and English major if you try.
Yeah, it's like believing.
It'll take you 10 years to graduate, but it'll be fine.
I think it's like one thing about just like simply believing things, so like then you start acting, like your actions either accidentally or kind of almost purposefully in a sick, twisted way, like start aligning like toward that reality.
Yeah.
You know, like I guess I personally really associate chains with your perception, because you two as people are very like active go-getters and such. You have the perception that you
I'm
are
not physically
a go-getter.
active.
Okay, well, in your minds you're like super active, because I just like it's like your perception is I am an active person. I have my agency. I can execute my will and have it be done and blah blah blah.
I've kind of said this before, but I think that I believe in myself so much that it almost limits me, because then I think if something bad happens that it's like my fault, and then I'm like, whatever, and then I could kind of like give up. But like I guess in this sense, like Crystal would be like, oh, I feel like I'm chained to my fate, like she would just say things like that. And I'm like, no,
I say things like that a lot.
I'm like, well, no, you're not. And like this is something I've never really like I guess related to, but I'm chained to things too, right?
Yeah.
Like, what's like...
It's like you're maybe chaining yourself a little bit to the idea that you have, like...
that I have the power.
Yeah, you have more power than you actually do. But, like, it's okay if you don't. It's like maybe changing the idea that it's, like, not okay if things, like, go bad for even a split second. Because it's like, well, no, they'll just pick back up again, because that's how the flow of life works. I think that, like, a lot of people get... Like, I think of chains as, like, you can be stuck in thinking that, oh, there's nothing I can do to... either mess this up or like make this better and stuff like that. Like people don't realize that like, oh, the future is always changing, because they are the ones executing the actions or executing like the non-actions to like make those things happen. And so I think that collectively, if a lot of people have one perception, that's when things start going well or things start going like down. Either way, it's like you are like chaining yourself to that like kind of thought process or that kind of thought pattern. And okay, maybe the connotation of chains sounds more like intense than it actually is. Like, oh, like there's no
it's a metaphor.
Like, letting go. Yeah.
Just go get a key for it.
Yeah.
Call the locksmith.
Yeah, I just think that whenever people start thinking, let's start forgetting that they have their own agency, or start like thinking too much, they have too much agency, then they are chaining themselves to that.
Because I'm like equally chained to thinking that I have like all the agency.
Yeah.
I think I have the same problem that like you do, thinking like if I put my mind to it, like I can do anything. And
There's
so
still gonna be barriers.
yeah, I always forget, like, to me it's like if I don't achieve something, it's because like I didn't try hard enough, not because of like it wasn't meant to be, or like there was like a better like applicant or something.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I should have worked harder. But like in reality that's not necessarily the case.
Yeah, like it's like if you decide to go to New York to pursue theater, you know that in theory I can do. Oh yeah, if I set my mind to it, I could do it. But then if you're actually there, you might actually like realize how hard it is.
Yeah.
And then it'd be like great.
Like you can
know?
talk yourself up to do anything.
Yeah.
And then, like once you like get somewhere and you're like, ugh, like, this is actually terrifying. But like I think part of it's like terrifying because like we've been told like be practical, be realistic, like for so long that all of a sudden like the idea of like truly like doing something you're passionate about, especially because I always think like in like the arts and stuff, because like that's like my interest, especially like in the arts, people are like, oh, maybe not, maybe a minor. I hear that a lot, like, oh, maybe you should like minor in that. And I'm
but see, like if you minor in theater, is that gonna help you? Okay, like not that it won't help you, but why not put the extra work into majoring in?
Yeah, because
you know?
if that's what I'm passionate about, that's what I want to do, I should spend most of my time studying and bettering myself in that field.
Because realistically, if you put like, I mean, obviously anyone can do it, but if you have a theater major versus a theater minor, like auditioning for the same role, like who's gonna have more background?
Yeah,
who's
major,
gonna have
the person who's spent more time studying it.
Yeah.
So it just.
I like kind of fall into the trap where I think that if like what I want doesn't work out, I've been there before. I was like, I want to do music and I know that I could do it. The only reason why I'm not doing music is not because I gave up, but because I decided that I didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
Because I decided I didn't want it enough. But I have had like times where if I feel like a difficulty, then I'll think, okay, maybe I'm just not supposed to do that. Like I kind of get caught in thinking that maybe the universe or the powers that be like have more control than I do.
Yeah, I think I like as a person stay stuck in certain perceptions for a longer time, and it takes me like a lot longer to come out of that. But I think everyone can be subject to like, you know, even temporarily chaining yourselves, even if it's not like, oh, for years you've had this like maybe like depressive thought or something.
Like, oh, like, you know, the America like thought that slavery was okay for like a really long time.
Yeah, it's like almost like if you're not actively questioning why you are where you are, it's like that's the difference between reveling in the feeling you have versus wallowing in it. It's like if you aren't actively always like asking, ooh, why, but like not being like scared of the answer, then like you're truly free. And like I feel like the way to get yourself out of chaining yourself is to like ask yourself why, but not in excess too much too. It's like be like why, but also things are the way they are, but I have like the free will either way to like change that. Like breaking free of chains is actually like really objectively I think difficult, because sometimes you're not even aware of the chains you even have.
True.
And that's actually a good segue. I think we're gonna take a break right now, and then when we get back, we're going to talk more about how to break free and not just the concept. So,
well, you could sing a High School Musical.
That's true.
Do you want to like have some music as a transition?
We should.
Can I play Shinedown?
No, I meant like if you wanted to sing that song. No, you're not going to play Shinedown. All right, we're going to pause here and make sure she does not do that. And we're back, and actually, so we were just talking about how Crystal has terrible music taste.
Well, no, it's actually a split reality at this point.
Well, you know what's funny is, maybe it was a year ago, I can't remember, she goes, I'm going to be a person who has good music taste. And you chained yourself to this reality for so long that you were lame.
Only a top 40 person.
Yeah. But then
Literally.
you met me, and I helped you.
And now I
break free your
listen
chains.
to
Look at
Milky
you.
Chance.
I gave you the key.
And Tame and
And it's called Spotify playlist.
But like actually though,
All I
Spotify's
did-
important. Spotify changed me.
Yeah. All I did was be like, Crystal, follow my playlist. And then
but see, I also didn't chain myself to the reality of being a music kind of pseudo snob now, because I'll have playlists of songs of the month, and it'll be like, woohoo, St. Vincent, woohoo, Tame Impala, and then there's like 3 doors down.
St. Vincent's dating Carrie Brownstein, right?
She was, but she's not anymore.
What?
No!
She's dating, okay, what's that model girl's name?
Is it Cara?
Yeah, Cara.
No.
St. Vincent is dating her. What's her last name?
I don't know how to pronounce it.
De Levine?
Whatever, something.
D-E-L-E-I-G-N-E.
Yeah, I know she's dating her.
That's crazy. I didn't know
But
that.
you know, like St. Vincent was like in some Portlandia episodes and stuff.
Yeah.
They were together.
Yeah, I was like so pumped about that couple.
Yeah.
You mean the
My
former
heart just
couple?
broke. Well, yeah. Don't break my heart even more.
Like, I don't even know if I'm Team Carrie or Team Annie, you know?
See, I feel like I have to be Team Carrie. Also, I need to read her autobiography because
Oh,
apparently
I'm sorry,
that's
it's
incredible.
so good. I'm not done.
I've always
I have a
really liked
problem.
Kara, but
Oh yeah, she's like so cool too. You're Team Kara.
I
I'm Team
follow her.
Carrie.
I follow her on Instagram.
So because you're Team Kara, are you now like inherently Team Annie?
Yeah, because they're together.
Well,
But you realize that Annie
Like-
Clark is St.
Yeah,
Vincent.
I know
Okay,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
I assume that will.
Not
Carrie's not saying
Annie
Vincent.
the
Wait,
orphan
does that mean
redhead.
that you're anti-Carrie?
I don't know. But I really like.
Wait,
both
if you're
Annie.
anti-Carrie, does that mean you're pro-Fred?
I don't.
Inception.
I don't know. I don't like where this is going. This is making my brain hurt.
Are you chained to Kara?
Oh my god! This is coming. Oh my god!
I wonder if Annie Clark is chained to Kara.
Because they are together.
I
Sexually.
don't. Well, probably.
Do you remember that song like by We the Kings? It's like
No.
because if you jump, I will jump.
Juliet, are you really?
No, I'm talking about Skyway Avenue. Where it's like if you jump, then I will jump too. And I was like, that's so morbid. We will fall together from the building's ledge. I'm like,
The only
oh,
song I ever
that's
heard of
no,
theirs
that's
was
not
Check
good.
Yes, Juliet. Wait, that was
Reminds me
them,
of
right?
Yeah.
That reminds me of that like sketch about everyone on the ledge.
Oh,
Dan read
Dan.
that? That's the saddest thing I've ever heard.
Wait, what was the sketch about?
About everyone like standing on the ledge of a building and being like,
It's
"Oh,
this very
that's-"
like, you know, Mindy Kaling, her character in The Office. It's like a character very much like that character who's like
Oh no.
every time they're in like a bad situation, like threatens to kill themselves to get out of it. And it's just so
And
terrible.
then everyone's like, that's a good idea. Go stand on that ledge too.
They're chaining themselves to the idea that that is their fate.
Like,
Well,
I
like-
hate that I think it's funny.
Well, I think it's funny too. And you know what? I feel like to be funny, you have to be really dark.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if that's just me.
Can we like talk shit about Dan for the whole podcast?
Daniel Leo is the president of Battle Whale, which Megan and Jacob are both in. That is, Amu's premier sketch
Well, I just
team.
want to say,
Which I'm pretty sure we're the only sketch teams.
and we are official now, but I am going to probably like steer this conversation a little bit away from Dan. Sorry. He's probably not even
He
listening.
Love
it was a name drop.
Yeah. Listen to the podcast.
I mean, he
we'll
looks-
tag him. We'll
he
tag
look-
him.
He looks like kind of better with toaster, and not, wait, I'm trying to look for it.
Valencia
He like
instead
looks
of
really
Nashville.
shitty with Valencia.
This is an Instagram filter for the general
Okay.
public who doesn't
No,
realize.
but what was I gonna say? Okay, I feel like, okay, there's a lot of sketches that we read where I'm like, are you okay? You being one of them.
I understand
And
that.
like, honestly, like, Sydney being one of them, well, it's like, honestly, I wrote one. In fact, the two sketches I wrote that were actually legit were both ended in death. I think that everyone finds that funny, and it's almost like concerning, like, are we all depressed? Like,
Well, you know that like humor is something that a lot of people like tend to gravitate towards to like cope with things.
and I feel like this could actually have to do with the topic too, is that like, I think that people that are in humor like to be self-deprecating to get laughs.
Oh yeah.
And sometimes it just goes completely downhill.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, sometimes because like I've like been there. I've been like said like something self-deprecating, like haha, and then like other people laugh, and it's like oh haha, and then like they'll add something, and I'll be like
Yeah.
oh, like
Like we don't want any Robin Williams situations here.
Oh, that
We're
broke
not
my
wanting
heart.
like Dan Leo's sketch to go like all the way downhill. Where,
Stand-up comedians do pick on themselves quite a bit.
Yeah, like
I've always
Louis
thought that
CK,
was kind
Amy
of-
Schumer.
Yeah, well, I think that in order to be funny, you have to like be okay with laughing at yourself, and a lot
Yeah.
of people aren't okay.
But
with
you
that.
know what it took for people to laugh at themselves? For them to think a little critically.
Yeah, and they
Yeah.
had to break free from chains. They had to like get out of their perception. They had to like.
I mean, I guess I'm just
Big
thinking that like
outlaws.
a lot of like people who are like, I don't want to make a generalization, but I get the feeling from my experience of talking to people that a lot of like people who are depressed turn to humor to kind of try to laugh themselves out of those bad feelings. I'm thinking about all these like self-deprecating tweets and Instagram pictures, but then you'll also have those coupled with the blog
like
posts,
Shane Dawson,
like being very real about their experience.
Like,
I'm just thinking
everyone's like Instagram like captions and everything is like, oh, like I hate how my hair looks in this, but thought I'd post it. You'd be like, you posted it though, like be proud of that.
Wait,
you know?
humor is a way to break free of chains.
Yeah, that's how I was like trying to connect. Like I know, like I feel like sometimes it seems like digressions, but it's never like truly. I'm like always that like the lame. I'm like that lame person that's like bringing it back, you know, to the topic.
But that's important.
But like I don't know. Yeah, I mean, because we wouldn't have been. People feel alive when they like are doing comedy or like listening to comedy because you literally aren't being yourself. You're being like another person.
Well, if it's their way of like getting out of like the chains that like hold them to this negative mindset, if like that's their way to like try to break out of that.
Yeah, and I think that art just in general is
That's
a really
true.
good way of doing that. And okay, you used to do music, Crystal.
Yes, this
what
is
other,
true.
What was your thoughts on like fine art in like middle school or anything like?
It was like basically okay. So I come from a super Asian American community.
Okay.
I'm from Portland. My high school was like about 30 to 40% Asian American.
She's from Portland, yeah.
Yes, I was not really a Carrie fan until I met Meghan though, which is weird. So
Everyone in Portland, or everyone, I was almost said Portland, yeah. Everyone in
You
Portland
almost were.
is like, oh, the show about us, whatever.
yeah, and then Meghan
Really?
went to
Wait, are they like not a fan of it?
I literally went to the bookstore that it's filmed in, and the workers have not seen the show.
Yeah,
Wait.
yeah, you know how people really raving about Portlandia from Portland. They're just like, oh, I don't think I've seen it before. I'm like, oh. Like, I saw it, I'm like, oh, I can see why they think this shit is funny. It's what I grew up with, yeah. And like, but yeah, anyways, basically growing up, fine arts were seen as an extracurricular as a half-assed attempt for all like the Asian American kids to think outside the box a little bit, just
Tiger moms are real.
Yeah, just for the purpose of getting better college applications. Like, oh, you did violin for 10 years. Good for you. Yeah, my fingers have blisters on the maternity. Yeah, but like, it's like if you wanted to be an actress, you wanted to be a writer like me, then like people were like, oh, you sure? You know, it's like even more intense than like.
You want a minor in that?
No.
Right.
They wouldn't even say minor. They just be like, no, stop, no. Like they're like, we didn't come to like immigrant parents. We didn't come to America and like freaking waste our lives away in grad school and like get a $200K paying job so you can go to like art school. Like it's like objectively like looked down on.
Do you think that
subtly?
I wonder if growing up that way has actually made it harder for you to break free from chains.
Oh yeah, I am.
Like, are the like expectations different because of that?
Like, as a journalism major, like when I was in, I basically from a young age knew that I was not cut out for the sciences and the maths, if you will.
The maths.
The maths.
You know, in Britain they call it maths.
Yeah.
Isn't that strange?
It's a little.
Did you learn that in
strange.
Brit Lit?
Well, I studied abroad in Britain, so there's
Whoa!
I'm traveled.
Oh my god! Yeah, no, like I like basically like had this like really like weird defense mechanism thing where I was like, I am so different from everyone, and I am so special because of that. Haha! Even though I'm like still taking AP Chem in addition to journalism classes, like I like really.
In high school, I thought you meant. I was like,
High
why are you
school.
taking AP Chem now?
You didn't know they actually offer it here as a class for the people that didn't get to take it in high school.
I think I'm gonna make the conclusion that artists are better at. I mean, I've already said that art helps you break free from chains, but I think that people that are naturally artistic don't think about that stuff. And I think that you definitely have the potential to be an artistic person. I mean, you're a writer, but naturally,
which is art.
Yeah, which is art, and you're starting to have better music taste or like whatever. Like, I think that not that you're bad at appreciating art. But I think that
I'm not good at appreciating
You're
art.
not good at it, and I think that you treat writing as work. Even though it is a piece of art, sometimes you overwork it and overanalyze while you're writing.
I like write my blog posts. I'm like,
and
people better think this is fucking impressive.
Really, you are just a good writer that you don't even need to think about it. You just need to do it.
It's so frustrating when like something you love becomes work. You're like, oh, I want to get back to the place where like this
That's
is just
what
like
happened
pure
with
joy.
music. Like it was just like, ugh, so stress. It was way more stress than it was.
I think breaking free of chains is like, you have to use the side of your brain that is thinking outside the box when you're doing art, when you're like composing music, writing things. I don't know.
Yeah, because if you try it not, then like your art suffers.
Definitely. I like, for example, this summer, I was like, I'm so free. Life is great. I can grab anything by the horns. And I was doing better journalism than
Did you grab buffaloes by the horn?
Yes, there were buffalo in the place I interned, Grand Forks, North Dakota. Great place. There was no Chipotle there, though, Megan. I didn't have Chipotle for 2 months.
She would drive around and then like send me pictures of like buffalo. Like, look what I found.
How like large is that town or city?
54,000.
Okay, so that's
pretty,
like half of Columbia.
I miss it. Oh, ow, that like hurts. Oh, thinking of it. Ooh,
Wait, why?
Because I miss it.
Don't chain yourself to the past.
So, speaking of chains,
yeah,
is thinking that your old taste in music was bad a chain?
Yeah.
Because like if you liked that music, like you like the music, like what's wrong with that? You know?
Shine down.
Is it a chain to think that you have to change your taste in music because of the expectations of like, perhaps someone in this room?
I will say,
I love the side eye that was given during that.
Before she answers, sorry to hog her. I'm just gonna say that I think that the way that music works is that there's music that depicts simpler emotions, and then there's music that depicts more complex emotions. Yeah. And I think that the top 40 portrays simple emotions, happy, sad, like whatever. And so more people can relate to it because everyone's felt happy, everyone's felt sad. But then as you get into your music taste, I think that it gets more like, oh, I feel like hopeful but found. It's like really like specific feelings that people can like stretch themselves in order to relate to the music. And so I think that if you were to chain yourself to only feeling like simple things, then that's bad. But if you truly just like the song, that's like a whole different thing. But now you can answer your thoughts.
Well, okay, I guess it's like resenting who you were once, or like anything of that sort is, like being very one track perception wise. Like I guess it's like I never thought, I think it's like funny to call my old music lame, but I mean there's a reason I still have 3 Doors Down on my Spotify.
The reason why you listen to If You Only Knew by Shinedown like
all the time. It will
like there was a period of time where like that meant a lot to you, and like there's a reason that meant a lot to you.
I think it's like maybe like repressing any part of your past for me personally is something I have to get over though, because it wasn't like I hated the person I was when I listened to that music. But at the same time, I will say that I have repressed a lot of the feelings I had about like my hometown, which Megan actually firsthand saw when she went to Portland with me during Thanksgiving break. I was like, I never really appreciated this place because I just felt really like everyone had all these like expectations that I should be like this like sciencey person, and I was like really mad about that. So I guess I had a chain perception that I'm just gonna be this writer. I'm gonna get out of this place, and I hate everything in this place.
I will say though, Crystal, that like your love of Shinedown is different than my old love of T-Pain and Soulja Boy. That I completely just evolved in and out with it. I don't have any resentment.
Yeah, you don't really have any feelings about that.
You don't resent T-Pain.
I don't listen to it still, but I don't also think like I'm like if I were to say a comment, I was so lame in middle school, and I only listened to Soulja Boy.
Yeah, you don't say
like I don't have any like resentment or like resistance to it because I just kept going. But I think that you like kind of brought up a good point that song meant a lot to you. Maybe it still does. And that's okay.
I still listen to it to this day. I still hold on to the letters.
Buy you a drink doesn't really mean much to me.
Twitter bio.
Wait, that's actually such a good... Oh, God, yes.
I love Buy You a Drink, but it doesn't really speak to myself.
Not anymore.
I just thought of the anymore, like the Kelly Clarkson song, Behind These Hazel Eyes. Anymore.
Yeah.
Anymore.
Oh my God.
Dude, here I am.
Kelly Clarkson.
Oh, Kelly. I remember singing in my room, like, I'm never going to be an American Idol at this rate. And I was like 8 years old.
At this rate? that I'm going.
I was like singing.
No, it's not going to happen.
I was singing like, what is it? Okay, 1,000 Miles. What's that?
Because you know.
What's her name? Vanessa
Carlton.
Vanessa Carlton. I was singing it and I didn't realize that auto-tune was a thing. Also, I was 8. But I was
I don't think it wasn't singing yet. But it was
and
about
I was
to
like,
be.
oh, there was like one flaw. It was mostly perfect. But
I was
like,
flat.
yeah, it was mostly perfect, but I was like a little flat on the note. I can never be American Idol like Kelly. Oh my god, I'm terrible.
Wow, I just pictured you as an 8-year-old.
I can see it.
Mom, I can't believe this.
Yeah, no, I was crying, and my mom's like, "What's wrong? Like, come back in and watch American Idol." And I was like, "This sucks. At this rate, I need to practice." Yeah. Anyways.
I'm American Idol.
That was a chain I had. Man, okay, do you think that American Idol has gone on a little too long?
Oh, yeah.
I
Well, okay, now we have like American Idol, we have The Voice, we have
X Factor.
the Singing Bee,
What was
we
the
have,
name of the
what was
one?
the acapella one? There was the sing-off.
The X Factor.
What about
The
the
X
song?
Factor. Yeah, the song. Don't get me started on the song.
Jacob wrote a
America's
sketch about
Got
a singing
Talent.
competition.
Yeah, and basically, like, the premise of it was, like, everyone who auditions has to have, like, this sob story, and they just, like...
Or else they won't get.
Yeah, and they just, like, progressively get more and more ridiculous, and if your sob story isn't good enough, they, like, don't even let you sing. Which is, like, basically what American Idol is, like,
Yeah,
anyway.
did you know that Kanye West was, like, auditioned for American Idol this season?
This
And-
season?
Yeah.
Oh,
like-
is he trying to get out of debt?
No, he like, and then like they show Kim Kardashian. She's like, "Oh my god, I like hope he gets to go to Hollywood."
Do you remember Jordan Pruitt? She was like a Disney Channel
I
singer.
do.
I knew you would remember. She auditioned for the X Factor.
No ordinary
Yes.
girl.
And she also sang oh crap,
Yeah, that's
it was like really like tormented me.
I don't know who the hell.
I actually bought her CD, like that
Really?
CD that Meghan.
Okay, what was her really sad song? Let me see.
You don't know my name. You don't know anything about me.
I actually don't know who the hell.
Outside looking in. That's
Yes,
the
outside
song.
looking in.
Oh, no ordinary girl. That is
But
so
she
true.
auditioned for the X Factor because she wasn't famous anymore, and I think she was on Team Christina and only made it like 2 rounds.
I remember I was watching that. I was like, wait, I have her CD.
I know. Well, okay, she came in and she auditioned in like a leather print, like spandex suit, and I was like, "You go, Jordan Pruitt. That's bold."
Yeah, I
Was she
really
in a
liked.
show?
I really liked her in middle
In the X
school. I
Factor.
really
Yeah,
did.
no, I
was
would
she in a
sob to
show
that song.
in Disney Channel or
No,
She sang, I think, a lot of songs for like the movies that Danielle and Kay Panabaker were.
Oh,
in.
yeah.
I feel like
Oh
she
my
specialized in
God.
those Disney Channel movies.
Wait, what was that one?
There was the one about Sky High, of course. There was the one about the journal,
she was
the
like the
notebook.
twin.
No,
Yes. Wait,
It wasn't called the
Right?
notebook.
it was something like read it
you
and
remember-
weep.
Read it and weep.
Yeah,
That's
do you guys remember Stuck in the Suburbs?
Yes.
Because
Yes.
you know, like Jesse McCartney is like in it, and
Oh,
also
Jesse
do you know who is
McCartney.
in it? I can't remember his name. Taryn something from
Killam?
SNL.
Taryn
yeah.
Killam, yeah.
He's in it.
Okay, it's so weird that like growing up like, watching Taryn
Oh,
Killam
no.
and Keenan Thompson like evolve
Yeah.
from like all that and like whatever the heck Moody's Point from
Moody's Point, yeah,
Taryn
he's
Killam
in
was on
that.
that. Then like
I
now they're
love
like all
that.
grown up on SNL.
And Josh Peck is
It's like,
hot, but that's Nickelodeon.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
He like tweeted something
And
really
then
funny.
Drake Bell's like transphobic or something. Yeah.
He always like tweets at Bieber like, "You suck." Did you know
Or it's
that?
because he just wants attention. Drake
Yeah.
Bell, if you're listening.
Yeah, Drake. All right.
You should still name your son Taco.
Yeah, I did appreciate that.
That was a good tweet. I like
But
that.
I think that's stupid because then he's just gonna be like Kanye West and like Northwest. Oh my God.
Saint West.
Yeah. Wait, I think it's one of my shoes. It made a really squeaky sound and I can hear it.
Yep.
This makes for a really interesting podcast.
You could be a Foley artist.
Where you like back in the olden days, they would like have a radio show where they would have like the shoes. The horse is coming up.
That doesn't sound like a horse, Megan. No, you know what I realized?
Everyone listening literally thinks there's a horse. In it.
We're sitting.
There is.
Okay, wait. We're sitting here. We're sitting here being really nostalgic, but we're not like you said, Megan. We're not like, oh, that was so lame back then. It's like basically like you're not chained to the idea that you're gonna be that way forever.
I'm just gonna say this is
I'm
gonna
trying
maybe
really
be
hard.
halfway cheesy. I don't know. I was telling Jacob this the other day, and I've kind of told you this. But like I like feel like I was a lot funnier like in high school, but I was also a lot weirder, especially in middle school. Like me and my best friend Tara, we would like go to Worlds of Fun like by ourselves, just like the theme park. We would just go up to like the workers and talk to them and ask them about their lives, and of course they'd be like, "You're a 12-year-old girl, like get away from me, I'm trying to do my job." But like me and Tara thought it was hilarious to like make these sort of caricatures. We like made them MySpaces, and like all my top friends were like fake people with like I would like make like them like on paint, like I would draw a stick figure of them. And this one girl named Brittany, I asked her for water, which is free, and she like dumped this water and was like really dramatic, like, "You have been asking me for too many waters today." And so like
she sure told
I like
you.
made her make MySpace posts like, "I have a really big attitude."
I have an attitude problem.
Yeah, I was like, "Hi, I like hate like water. It's my biggest fear." And I would just like do these weird things, and like I had no friends. But you see, like I at least was comfortable in my own skin. I was funny, and I like really kind of miss being goofy. And like Jacob, you just bring the goofiness out of me, and I really appreciate it. And I am like I shouldn't like chain myself to thinking like, oh, like I used to be funny, now I'm.
You shouldn't change.
That's lame.
You shouldn't change yourself into liking Jacob. Kidding. That was a
Yeah.
bad joke. That was a bad joke. Jacob is so worthy.
I'd rather be goofy than deep, but I feel like,
yeah.
I feel like
you are just being yourself in any case.
Yeah, I've had this struggle with like, I have such a weird sense of humor and like weird personality, and like for a while I like tried to like tone that down, like dial it back to like be more like marketable.
When I came to college
people.
and I had to first be friends with journalism majors, I did not know how to do it. Because I only knew how to make friends with choir and theater kids by just geeking out about things and like.
But now
being loud.
Yeah, like, I'm really good at being loud.
But now you and the hipsters and the scene kids all have the same music taste.
Wait, no, I was just gonna say, I don't know if you noticed this before, but like in middle school, there's like the scene kids, the nerds.
I was seen for a day, for a single day.
I was just gonna say, I was not seen, but right now, the scenes, the nerds, and the weirdos are all hipsters. They've all merged into the same group.
But here's a question.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Is being hipster?
No, it's not.
Because like now that like
oxymoron.
hipster's like a thing, you know, like being hipster, like originally being hipster was like avoiding trend, you know, like steering away. But like now that being hipster is trendy.
Wait, but like
what
it's
does
funny
it mean?
because
I think that hipster literally just means being yourself, and people use it as like a bad term.
If everyone avoids the main trend, then who's following the trend?
Then that's the trend.
Avoiding
the trend is the trend.
But it's weird because it's like all this like theoretical audience. Like who are you fighting against? You know?
Yeah.
Like what? Like
I will say,
the man.
Yeah.
Like
there's like authentic people, and then there's people that try and be hipster.
Yeah.
That are kind of fake about it.
Yeah.
It's like weird how like like one of our friends Becca like once said, "Oh, it's like trendy now to be like misanthropic." It makes me think about how like everyone's like, "I hate society," but we collectively are society. So someone's doing the shitty things around here. And if everyone's like, "It wasn't me," well, no, it's someone. It reminds me when we play Mafia, and everyone's like, "I'm not the Mafia." It's like, well, someone's killing everyone.
Yeah.
So
I haven't played that game in so long.
yeah.
TBT.
Well, we're gonna take a break and then come back and talk about the news, and also we're probably gonna go on other digressions that will be really fun.
Of course, well, the news will inspire that.
Yeah.
Oh
and
no!
I can't even wait to talk about the news. So.
Journalism.
Crystal's our news lady. I hear it.
Yeah, in theory, yes.
And Crystal, we'll be back with the news after this. Guys,
This is the news.
This is the news. This is literally the
What's trending?
extra. Read all about it.
It's breaking.
Breaking news. Jacob and Crystal both did not hear about Britney Spears, until they were in high school.
Well,
Okay, I knew she existed. I knew she existed.
But like I literally didn't hear like her
yes.
iconic songs until freshman year, and by then it was because people were talking about Circus, and then I was like, I should probably listen to her other stuff.
Yeah, and like I knew like that she had a song like "Hit Me Baby One More Time."
Yeah, and like Toxic, I was like, it's not that great,
It's
is
so
it?
different because my cousin Audrey, my cousin Audrey, her dad actually had like a signed Britney Spears poster, but he like faked it and was like, "Oh, I dated her in college." Like,
Same.
here, he's like, oh, I dated Britney Spears in college. Like, I broke up with her to date your mom or something. And, like, Audrey, like, he would always joke with her about things like that. And then she would, like, get in trouble in preschool for lying. Because she would say, like, oh, my dad dated Britney Spears. No, I have her autograph. And she'd, like, be in trouble, and I'm like,
okay, well, like, speaking of, like, lying about, like, dating celebrities and stuff, literally every single person I know who goes here, whose parent who's, like, mom specifically.
Is it Brad Pitt?
Went to Mizzou. And, like, oh, yeah, my mom, like, went out with Brad Pitt, or, like, they made out.
Everyone's mom!
And I'm like, okay,
I doubt it,
Brad Pitt got
because-
around that much. I'm sure he was a
know,
nerd. I'm sure he was a nerd.
He was a nerd because one of my good friend's mom was a theater major at
Of course.
Mizzou, and said that they all thought he smelled bad and that he was like not in the popular group at all.
Well, Angelina's a little freaky. I can see her being into the bad smelling guys because she had like that like
Maybe,
what was
like-
it, a vial of blood that was she would always wear like on her necklace whenever she dated that like 80-year-old.
Oh, I didn't know about that. But maybe whenever he finally got an agent, he just sat him down and was like, look, you've got to shower.
Like your resume is great, like you're really talented, but like there's one thing that we need
His
to
last name
fix
is
here.
Pitt. I just can't get over that. I can't get over
He's from
that.
Springfield, Missouri.
Is he trying to be ironic
they
here?
don't have showers there, right?
Yeah, no.
Sorry, Mo State, but you're not. Like, yeah, I don't know.
You're irrelevant.
Really though, the first Britney song I ever heard was Circus. That's not good.
Mine was-
That's shameful, but I need to get over that.
It was a song she did with Kesha and was it Nicki Minaj?
What?
It started with
Wait,
a
I know what you're
T,
talking about.
I think. Speaking of Kesha, hashtag free Kesha for real though.
I think Toxic, though, was the best one.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Yes,
maybe
free
one
Kesha.
more time. That was the first one I heard.
Wait,
Nice.
Well, that's like her like almost canonical song. Like
yeah,
that's
but
in like.
Did It Again was pretty good too.
by the way, are you talking about Britney Spears and Iggy Azalea's like
Yeah.
Pretty Girls song? All the pretty girls
God.
in the world.
I don't know that song.
Don't.
See,
Don't.
I
It's not
always-
worth
really-
knowing.
I'm
It's
not a
worth
Britney
knowing.
fan like you guys. I just
We're not,
grew
though.
up in America, you know.
We grew up
I
in
did
the
as
same
well.
America. Well, no, we were a little protected. So
That's true.
We were with the mains in America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, for real though, I went to Catholic summer. I'm not Catholic, but I went to a Catholic summer camp. No, a summer camp whenever during the summers, believe it or not, as I was a child. And
During summers?
They like I was there whenever I'll take one. Thank you. I was there whenever Michael Jackson died, and I like
Oh,
I
no.
hadn't heard a
I
Michael
remember
Jackson
thinking
song.
it was fake. Wait, seriously?
Wait,
I
what
hadn't heard
happened?
one. I was
oh
like
no.
10. He died, and like all the counselors were like in their teens. They were all like sobbing.
Wait, when did he die?
2009,
Yeah.
June 2020.
You weren't 10. I was
No.
gonna say, I'm not that much older than you. I don't remember being that young.
You're like probably
No, it was June
3,
2009. I
2
remember
years older
this.
than me,
I'm
probably.
21.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, you would have been like maybe 13 or 12.
still.
Either way, you're.
Either way, you were a young,
I remember
malleable
thinking
mind.
like, see, like I like had a MySpace during these days. Like I would see like people would.
I
be
was
like,
never on MySpace.
Oh wow.
Wow.
People would be
Oh
like,
my god, I remember the exact
that was so
date. Sorry. I remember
She just dropped her phone on the door. I'm just gonna literally say that like people would lie and say Michael Jackson died all the time. That whenever I found out that he died, I was like, yeah, right.
Oh no, the boy that cried wolf.
And they were trying to share
Okay,
it.
low key, this makes me a bad person, but I'm like not gonna let that chain me.
Okay,
yeah.
I love fake celebrity death rumors. Like the other day,
They're
someone
funny.
tweeted. Some like Vine star tweeted R.I.P. David Archuleta frowny face. But, like, I knew it was fake, but like it was just such an
No,
obscure
Crush was my
like
favorite
D-list
song.
celebrity that
my
I
God.
retweeted.
Okay,
it.
I think he's like a C+ list at least. Because
No.
Crush was
Not
like good.
anymore. Like
That's
yeah,
maybe your
that
opinion.
that was like
That's
a
true.
great song, and I would still jam to this song. But
What's
like
that one? What's
now,
Do you ever think when you're all alone?
Yes.
we can be.
Oh, is it more than just another crush?
Do you
I
catch your
remember
breath
listening to it
when I
being
look at
like-
you?
Going
Way, yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, I like would listen to that song and be like, I don't know if it's more than another.
How philosophical. Like,
I was
You were
like,
getting
oh.
real.
I like had my first boyfriend that like I did not like that much for like a month, and then we broke up, and I was like, is it more than just another crush? And I
You're
listened to that
sitting here like,
song.
In
Tell me, David, tell
my
me.
freshman year of high school, I was made fun of because I asked someone if they had a crush on someone, and they're like, "Oh, you still use the word crush?
Wait,
what are you in 5th grade?" And I'm like, "No, I'm in high school."
And they were like, "No, I totally like her." Yeah. It like sounds so much better.
It's like, no, we're talking. We're talking.
Wait.
And like, we're talking.
Speaking of celebrities, we were actually going to talk about the news portion, Fuller House. And
Oh,
like,
don't get me started.
Can we change them to this reality that Full House is good?
I have a lot of feelings about Fuller
Okay,
House. I could speak for an hour.
Okay, I
on
want to
Fuller
hear your
House.
opinions, but first I want to talk about the topic that, like, I think that people sometimes are too nostalgic.
They
Like,
really
think-
are.
That's true.
Which is
They
funny because we
think
were
that
super
these sort of
nostalgic.
sitcom shows are gonna live forever when they actually aren't.
Yeah, if they
Yeah.
try to reboot Friends, would you watch it?
No.
'Cause
But
I
they
would
got
say-
they signed Fuller House up for a second season.
Yeah.
Like they're continuing.
Oh, God.
Basically, I've
Jumping
heard that
the
they
gun.
have terrible reviews, but also that it's exactly like Full House. So I think that our taste buds have changed, probably.
I agree.
We've grown.
Yeah, you know,
Okay.
you can't change that.
Okay,
Let's hear your opinions.
one Jodie Sweetin, aka Stephanie Tanner, is confirmed for the next season of Dancing with the Stars, and although I don't watch the show, I will be watching it because Jodie Sweetin is a mess.
My
and Lord
sister
knows the
said-
choreography is gonna mess her up again.
She did
My sister
drugs
was telling me
really
today
bad.
that apparently she is a DJ in the show. Like, have you
Yeah,
seen
yeah.
They call her
yeah,
DJ
okay,
Tanner.
okay. So here's my spiel on Fuller House.
Okay, let's hear it.
Okay, so Fuller House follows DJ, Stephanie, and Kimmy, and basically they set it up to where DJ is exactly like Danny, minus like the cleaning thing.
Yeah.
Stephanie is exactly like Uncle
Which,
Jesse.
okay, she was never like that. As
No.
a kid, she was like, how rude.
I know,
You
but
know?
now she's all like music, parties, like she orders a bunch of tequila shots in the show. Kimmy is exactly like Uncle Joey, like funny.
She already kind of
goofy.
was, so
she
that
kind of
makes
was.
sense.
So like they've like literally just slipped into those roles. Like the old parents and stuff, they're like come in every now and then, and it never really makes sense when they come in. They're just gonna like, oh, we're here. But then the kids on the show, which I have a huge problem with these children. Let me
no.
tell you. Okay, so the kids come like they're all like modern Disney
Oh,
Channel
no,
style
no.
acting, which
Oh,
is just
God.
like screaming, you know, just like coming in. And another thing, so one of the great
the
things,
Olsen twins were great actresses.
exactly.
They really
Never
are.
gonna be the same.
I know.
Okay, go.
But one of the great things about Full House is that all of the child actors started off extremely young. So then as the show continued, like they literally like grew up before our eyes, which like was probably detrimental to them, like Jodie Sweetin, look. But like
We have the same birthday.
we
It's
like
bad.
had this emotional bond to these kids because like we were watching them grow up, and like I was watching reruns, but still I got that
Yeah.
same journey. But,
Yeah, and,
like in Fuller House, these kids are already like 12, so like
So we don't give a shit.
they've grown. Like you don't care about them at all. So it's just like, and then also
We were
like,
there when Michelle fell off that horse.
exactly. I
We were
think
there.
about that all the time. That actually inspired part of a sketch. But
It was an iconic moment in
yeah,
American
but that
comedy.
happened, and so like we don't get to like grow with these kids. Like we have no reason to care about them now. Also, the dog is, Lord knows, has been dead
Why
for years.
the fuck is the dog still there?
Yeah, I know.
Wait, this is actually the subject of many articles.
My dog is like, she's about to die. And I got her when I was 7.
Same.
Like, man.
Full House started in the 80s. Like, that
dog
dog's
is
been
not
gone
fucking
for
alive.
years.
Why do they?
What if between the time when it ended and now there was a second
I
clone
know.
puppy?
But also,
I could
the
have
like,
said it was the dog's baby.
yeah, the humor of Fuller House is a lot more adult. Like they're like
Oh,
drinking
no, that's
alcohol
really
on the
bad.
show. There's like in the pilot there was a semen joke that Uncle Jesse makes, and I'm just like,
You have got to be kidding me.
and so I'm like, it's probably.
Jodie Sweetin's gonna make the same joke.
I know, and then there's like Donald Trump jokes, and they're like trying to be really current, which is stupid.
Do you know what I
But-
hate? Breaking the fourth wall.
Yes, they looked right at the camera, and it was so unprofessional to call out the Olsen twins like that.
Yeah.
Like
House
they
of
are.
Cards does a good job, but I don't think most.
That's true. That's true. It's differently. It's tasteful. But the
It's
good
not like-
thing,
Hey,
the reason that
can't
I'm
see me.
sticking with Fuller House is,
Wow.
I know, I know. For all of its faults, the reason I'm sticking with Fuller House is because there are moments where it still has that same heart that was like so important for Full House. Like those reasons, like there's basically spoiler alert.
Yeah.
DJ loses her husband in. He was like a firefighter, and it's insinuated he like died
because they had to kill him
fire.
because she had to be just like Danny.
Yeah, but there's
Wait,
like a
what?
moment.
That's that bad.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
exactly
no.
what it is. But there's like this moment where Kimmy and Stephanie are like deciding to stay and help DJ, who's a newly single mom, and they're just like they drop everything. They're like, we're here for you no matter what. And it's like this super sweet, like emotional thing. And like, there are like other moments like that, but it's like still that same like heart and compassion.
Where at the end of the episode, they all come together and have a life lesson.
Yeah. And like, it's cheesy, but it's the same like heart that the like Full House had. And so that's why I'm sticking with it. Mm-hmm. I'm going to finish the season, see what they do for season 2.
You're going to keep watching until Jody and, or like till DJ and Stephanie like are old ladies.
Yeah. Well, Stephanie performed at Coachella during the show.
What?
Yeah.
No.
So that's how current they're trying to be.
Oh, really?
No.
Oh my god. It reminds me that, you know, like, you can't change yourself to the perception that everything nostalgic sells, but at the same time, you also can't assume that just because society's moved on doesn't mean...
evolve.
Yeah.
And that like relates to breaking free from chains. You have to like evolve, because if you aren't breaking free, then you're staying where you are, which another news topic I wanted to bring up is these Republicans right now. Are they chained to their fate that Trump is just going to be the nominee, or are they going to get their shit together and have him not be? Because I feel so bad.
Marco Rubio still thinks he has a chance,
I know.
which is hilarious.
It's ridiculous. But
I
then
feel sad for
every
the guy.
day.
Okay, do you know who I feel sad for? Jeb Bush.
Do you know who I
He
feel
just
sad
made me
for?
sad watching him.
Kasich, is that how you say it?
Who's that?
Exactly.
Oh no.
He's like the
Wait, who is
right
it?
before. Okay, Ben Carson's still in it, but like Kasich, he's like I think the most moderate one, but he's like kind of splitting the vote with Rubio apparently, which. But okay, I just think it's funny every time like some like high up Republican says they endorse Rubio. It doesn't fucking matter what you think.
No.
It doesn't matter if you endorse him. He's not winning.
No.
Like,
Rubio.
Yeah, I think it's like the Republicans at this point, it's like evolve or die. Like they literally have...
yeah, break free or die.
Yeah.
Or die.
There's so many Republicans who are literally like, oh my god, I can't believe that idiot might win the nominee.
Well, wasn't there...
like they're like...
There's like a new meme of Chris Christie looking sad.
Yeah.
It's like standing behind Donald Trump after he endorsed him. He's
yeah,
just
all
like...
these memes like, send up for Christie, it's okay,
Yeah.
it's okay. Yeah, no, I was actually really surprised when I heard that he was endorsing him. I'm like, really?
I think someone like paid him to say that. Like,
I think, okay, well, because it's politics. You
Because
know
I
that
read
he did
an
it
article-
because if Trump, God forbid, becomes the president of the United States, oh, Chris Christie
He's just
endorsed me, maybe...
Yeah,
I'll
he's
put
just
him
literally
in, like,
a
cabinet or
he's a
something.
puppet, as our psychologist would say. He's just
Yeah.
trying to, please
Well, I
the
like-
masses.
Which
I, like,
most
saw-
politicians are.
I saw this
regardless of-
article that was like saying, like basically a quote from like a few months ago of Chris Christie being like, I'd never endorse that asshole or something.
Once he finds out he's winning,
Yeah.
unfortunately, he... I feel like I have to preface everything with...
Yeah, and like, not to like get super personal here, but I think that a lot of conservatives, that is their mindset. They don't break free from chains. That's why there's progressivism and there's conservatism. Literally the definition of conservative is to like stay the same, while progressive is to keep moving forward. And I think that that's like a huge problem with this party right now.
Yeah.
Nobody's happy with it.
No.
I'm just thinking about how the Republican Party back in Lincoln's day was just so different back then.
They're
Well, yeah.
completely different.
Yeah.
But it's also even different if you look at Reagan. Like, it's nowhere close to that either.
No,
Can
Meghan.
you imagine, like, Lincoln looking at the Republican Party as it
Yeah,
is
no.
now?
Sobbing.
He'd
He'd
just
support
go like...
Bernie. He'd support Bernie.
Yeah, no, I remember Meghan was like, I never thought I'd say this, but I like miss McCain.
Yeah.
I miss McCain. Remember
I
when
miss Romney.
Poor guy couldn't raise his
when
arms.
when
about this
McCain and
way.
Romney were like the worst threat to American politics?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
It's interesting. Like,
Hashtag bring back Romney.
Yeah.
Can we start a
but-
GoFundMe?
Yeah.
we actually
Oh my
should.
god, we actually should start that hashtag. Bring back Romney.
Yeah, I was talking to Meghan about how, like, okay, all those people who are voting for Trump, they're chaining themselves to the idea that his views are the only ways.
Make America great again.
Yeah, like, they are literally not taking the time to get rid of their ignorance, because I feel like they aren't inherently evil people. They're just really stupid. But the end result is they might as well be evil because they're enabling this.
Like, since the Conservative Party has changed so much, and, like, even though that their whole goal has been to not change, their whole goal has been to resist change, it kind of proves that there is no resisting. Change is going to happen, so you might as well go with it.
It's almost like
you
resisting
might as
it.
well not chain yourself to something.
Yeah.
It's almost like resisting it is what makes you change more than the person who just kind of goes with it. It's like, oh, like you could change.
Yeah.
If you're like, oh, I'm open to change, you're going to change like 20%. It's like, oh, that's it.
So I think if you
And
resist, resist where life is moving, then you're going to be, like, pushed out.
Yeah, literally. It's like trying to swim against the current. The harder you try, it's like, Like, and I also think one important thing for a lot of people to know is that don't chain yourself to the idea that there's no more hope for those people who are supporting
What's the
Trump.
point of gummy bears? Like, literally, I don't know why.
It's like something sweet, something to
just,
like
like, staring
busy yourself.
blankly.
Literally,
actually
when
don't.
you're bored,
Well,
you
it's
just
like
want to eat something. I don't understand because Crystal keeps buying them, and like I eat them. Whenever they're in my face, I like eat them. But why?
it's just like something mindless you can do.
Yeah. Wow.
That was like news. That ties into the
Yeah,
journalism we
I'm actually a little shaken because I actually don't know what the point of them is, and now I'm like panicking because what if there is no point? What if I shouldn't be buying
What
these?
is the point of any food?
What is the point of anything in life? We should always be fine. Mic drop.
Yeah.
We also have written down if we want to talk about High School Musical 4.
Oh, of course I do. Okay, they've been saying
It's been 8 years.
It's been 8 years. They like
I did not
agreed
even know
that
that
High
there was
School
a
Musical
3.
4 would.
I did not know that there was a 3rd.
I never actually saw it. Full
sad.
disclosure.
I hated the first one. I'm just gonna say. And I'm saying
I'm giving Meghan a dirty look.
I'm like, yeah, you have to tell me. Like, yeah, I'm like 2 grades older than you, so maybe I thought I was like too cool for, like, I don't know.
Too cool for school.
I think
You were
I
in
might
middle
have-
school at
Yeah,
that point.
Yeah, you were still.
I was in 5th grade.
Oh, yeah, I was like.
It was 2006.
Okay, I was like in 6th grade, and I remember at that point I did not like Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. I did not.
What?
I did not like Hannah Montana. I was too old for
Wait,
that shit.
Jacob. You know what I just realized? Maybe this is like the mid 90s kids like split. Like, cause we like
I think
so
it
many
kind of
similar
is.
things.
Okay.
But I was born in 95 and you were born probably in
95.
95 or 96 or
I'm
something.
just saying that there were kids at school that would watch. I remember watching the Hannah Montana trailer and being excited for it, and then being like, "Huh, this just doesn't do it for me. This is just kind of lame."
That was the first video I ever saw on YouTube was the pilot episode of
loved
Hannah
it.
Montana.
Because, and then kids at school that would talk about Hannah Montana, I'd be like, "You're not serious, right?" Oh, and like Jonas
It's the best
Brothers.
of both worlds.
Like Jonas Brothers, so not
Nobody's
not
perfect.
into them. Like that was maybe when I
Burning
started.
Up was.
That was maybe when I started to be
Yeah.
like kind of like an obnoxious hipster because I like
Oh,
started
God.
hating like top 40 or
I
whatever.
can like feel it.
Uh-huh.
I'm going back in time for a second and be like,
Yeah.
oh man,
I remember
she
just
was
telling
Yeah.
kids
like
like
trying to be hipster.
Did you ever listen to Year 3000?
I hated that song.
I was like confused by the concept, but I really like the tune.
But you know, I'll tell you what, my sister was born in 97 and she agreed with me on these.
Okay.
I started watching Nickelodeon, that's it. I started watching Ned's Declassified and
Ned's
That's a
Declassified
good
was
show.
Snowy 101 was also quite quality.
Oh.
actually, okay,
Except
Jacob,
when Jamie Lynn Spears.
we were thinking we want to like try and find streaming of Ned's Declassified if you want to watch it with us sometime.
Of course, always.
Because like
we
I
have
would love
to succeed first for
Yeah,
this plan
that's
to be
true.
executed.
I
but
never passed 8th grade.
I think it'd be great.
I'm still living.
The
in
only reason why I passed middle school is because of Ned and his
Yeah.
tics. But
Yeah.
I think it'd be great if I threw like a Ned's Declassified watch party or something.
Yes.
I need to figure that out.
Yes, we need to actually figure out how to get people to go.
I always knew
Yeah.
that.
People don't want to leave their houses anymore.
Yeah,
They just
Yeah.
that's
don't.
like a whole other thing. But like, I always knew Ned and Mose were gonna get together in the end.
They had to.
Nobody is that close of a friend, and nobody can deny their feelings for that long.
I mean, that's how I felt about Lizzie and Gordo as well.
Yeah.
But I wasn't too sure, you know.
Okay,
Until I saw the movie and I was like, okay.
That movie was absolutely pivotal for my development as a person.
I still hear "Hey Now, Hey Now" in my head sometimes.
Right? No,
Like,
whenever-
Kate's like, you can't do it. And she's like, I can't.
Whenever Paolo's singing horribly. Wait, okay, am I wrong or did they literally perform in the Coliseum? Like, am I remembering that correctly?
you remember me correctly.
Can you take a moment to unpack what it means that they were this girl from God knows where USA was performing in the Colosseum in modern day Rome? What are the implications of this?
Wait, there's something about doppelganger or some literary metaphor that can be made there.
Paolo, sing to me.
Sing to me, Paolo. And he's like, and then she comes out in like an igloo.
Wait, no, shit, this is so meta because then you were just saying that Hillary Duff actually had the lip sync problem.
Oh!
Shit! That Paolo
We've
had.
come full circle.
Oh my god.
Wow, we just broke free of the chains in our perception that Hillary Duff is.
Yeah, this is probably a good place to stop. Any final thoughts on chains?
I'm
Break
glad.
them.
Okay, what I will say is the first step to breaking your chains is to being aware you even have them, which is what a lot of good comedians honestly do. They can snap out of their chain state for a sec to meta comment on how much life sucks, make fun of it, and you know the worst thing
Which
you can
Perlandia does a great job of, because like that's them that they're making fun of.
Yeah, they make fun of literally themselves.
Mm-hmm. I think being able to laugh at yourself, or just the act of laughing, puts you in a state where you can accept other ideas.
I think
and
being
other
in a state of joy
conclusions.
helps too.
Yeah, like it's like, okay, the humor, the dark humor combines like joy with awareness, because it's like I'm aware that life sucks, but hey, there's still some joy in it. You know, and also I have also thought that comedy is a great big group hug, and you need to love group hugs to get yourself out of your chains.
I love group hugs.
You know, so I don't
Full House
know.
has group hugs.
Yes, I just feel like whenever I feel like shit, I just go on ClickHole and I think,
Is the GOP debate tonight?
oh no. Everything you need to know about Thursday. That's today. Yes, it's a Thursday.
Today is Thursday.
Man, how many GOP debates are there? I'm like really ignorant about this stuff.
Well, all
I
I
feel
know
there's
is
been
that
so many.
for some reason the Democrats chose really terrible times, and I think it was to like make Hillary win over Bernie.
Okay,
they like chose times like Saturday night for the debate.
I literally don't know. Is it only Bernie and Hillary running for the Dems? Like it's just
Martin
them?
O'Malley, I think. Yeah, he dropped out. But anyways, thanks for listening.
Thanks for being on our podcast, Jacob.
Thanks for inviting me. It was fun.
Yeah.
We'll do it again.
For sure. All right. Thank you.